Hey guys, what's good? Emo Cat Dad here, hanging out with you, bringing you yet another edition of Emo Cat Dad Listens. If you're new here, then first off, thank you so much for stopping by. What it is I do here on this show is every day of 2024, I vow to check out a new band or artist. I check out 4 songs from across their discography, give you my initial thoughts on those songs, give you my ranking of songs, and then of course give you my overall thoughts on the artist based on what I just heard. As you can see right there, today's artist is Driveways. Now Driveways is an artist that I've heard of for a while. I've just literally never dove into them. They were kind of like a smaller band for a while, and I heard there was like a pretty cool pop punk band from out east, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna have to give them a listen one of these days. And I just never did. Until today. This is yet another band that I'll be seeing next month at 4 Chord Fest, so I've been trying to go down the list and check out the bands that I hadn't yet checked out at this time to get myself ready for next month when I have the opportunity to see them live and see if they're worthy of my time. And so far, bands like Koyo and Cliff Diver and Honey have definitely been worthy of my time. So let's just get into it and see if Driveways is going to be on that list as well. Alright, so Driveways seems like an EP heavy band, which nothing wrong with that, because they seem to release a lot of them. The earliest one that I seen was 2018's Night Terrors, and I checked out the track Drop Dead. Okay, so I guess this is a little bit different than what I was expecting. This is like an evolved version of sad boy pop punk that leans a little more emo. Similar to like a Youth Fountain, who I've also done one of these videos on. The music was a little too muted for me, but I really dug the vocalist's vocal flow. There was also some background screams that were used pretty sparingly, but I feel like it was the perfect amount, honestly. Alright, next up, they released the EP Skeletons in 2019, and on that EP houses their most streamed song on Spotify, also called Skeletons. Okay, so this track I'd say leans more emo. I know I said the last one was like an evolved pop punk sound that leans emo. This one I'd say just straight up sounds more emo than pop punk. The lyrics on this track were stellar, as they were on the last one too. I think I'd give this one a little bit of a nudge over the last lyrically. But the vocals on this one, I didn't love the performance. However, the music is much better than on the last one. Alright, since we're talking Spotify rankings, this is their #1 trending song, the song Skeptic, off their 2021 EP, Skeptic. No, not a single word you say, I don't believe. Hallelujah. We got it. We married the vocal performance from Drop Dead and the music from Skeletons in this track. So, spoiler alert, this one's going to be above the last two in the rankings. The trap beats in this track at the end were a welcome addition. I was honestly looking at the lyrics and I was like, oh no, we're going to get a repetitive part. But the way that trap beats made it sound in the outro, it kind of made the vocals fade to the background and kind of sound like a cool production element of the lyrics. So they weren't really repeating to me. It was just kind of like a cool fade out with the trap beats. So definitely elevated the song where I thought we were going into a section I would not enjoy. And last but not least, Driveways released their latest EP, Epilogues 2, last year. And off that EP, I checked out the track Skulls and Flowers. Okay, so this was interesting. This is kind of a different sound than the previous 3 tracks. It was clearly Blink-182 inspired. I would say that they were trying to do their best, like, take off your pants and jacket era Blink impersonation in the verse anyways. But they were still adding some modern flair to it. I don't want to say like MGK because people don't like MGK, but it kind of had that feel. And we get some screams again. They've been completely absent from the last 2 tracks. I will say, I said on the first track they were used sparingly. They're used even less here. But it was nice to hear them again, even if I feel like they could have worked them in a little bit more. Okay, so those were 4 tracks I checked out. Let's go ahead and rank them. Starting with #1. No surprise, it's Skeptic. This had my favorite music, my favorite vocal performance. It was a It was likely a slam dunk #1 when I heard it, and I honestly told you as much. But I needed to leave the door open just a little bit in case the fourth song blew me away. But it did not reach the highs that Skeptic did for me personally. At 2, we're going Drop Dead. Vocal performance is very important to me, and this had the second best vocal performance. And honestly, I think it's probably not all that close. Yes, the music was a little lower than I would have liked, but some of the sad boy stuff did that as well. So coming from someone that was obsessed with the sad boy sound in the early 2010s, I'm not complaining. At 3, Skulls and Flowers, the MGK thing isn't a negative to me. And again, I used MGK, I could have used Huddy or Jaden, because they have similar styles, but, you know, MGK is the most well-known. I don't think anyone should take it as a slight if I say this verse sounds like a Blink-182 verse. Because it's sounds that I've heard before packaged together in a way that I've heard before, it had a ceiling to how high it was going to go, and in this case, that ceiling is number 3. At 4, we're putting Skeletons, which feels weird because it's their most popular song. I just really did dig the vocal performance on that track as much as on these other 3, and vocals are a big deal for this Emo Cat Dad, so I guess hold it against me. Alright, so those were the ranking of the songs. What are my overall thoughts on Driveways? Driveways seems like a super cool, fun band. They give me some, like, Menzinger vibes, but in the pop-punk world instead of the, you know, punk rock world, where they're like, we're here to be sad, but we're also still hopeful at the same time. Obviously, lots of darker lyricism with songs like Drop Dead, Skeletons, and Skulls and Flowers, but it's still a lot of fun to listen to. I, for one, am excited to see them at 4 Chord Fest. I think it's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to dig into more songs from their catalog. So if you watching this are a Driveways fan, leave me some song suggestions in the comments, because, yeah, I'm going to have to make a playlist here and get more Driveways into my life. Alright, thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me. I'm your friendly neighborhood Emo Cat Dad. Appreciate you making it to the very end of this video. Like I just said, give me some songs to check out of Driveways in the comments below. Give me your thoughts on Driveways. What's your favorite EP? Is there one song that I completely missed? Do you just know these 4 songs? Rank them for me. And while you're down in the comments, please, please, please give me more band or artist suggestions. I need the help. It's day 130, so I still have literally 236 more days to go. I need bands and artists that I can do Emo Cat Dad listens on, and I need your help. So give me those suggestions, and then I hope you come back tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day and see when I get to your suggestions. And the best way to do that is if you simply cut my wrist and hit subscribe. Emo Cat Dad signing off for now, but until tomorrow, I want to hear you sad.